from Charlotte, North Carolina, at a combined weight of over 660 pounds, Rody Rob, Adam Baum, Bionic Brian, the Marked Out Wrestling Podcast.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Marked Out Wrestling Podcast. I am your host tonight, Adam Baum, coming to you remotely. Back in the studio is my co-host, Rody Rob.
Hey, man, ask me how I'm doing. You didn't ask me how I'm doing.
I just figured you'd pick up the torch. Remember, we're not baby birds anymore.
Oh, I know, but just do that for me. Just say, how you doing tonight, Rob?
Hey, Rob, you want us to talk about politics?
No, I want you to ask me how I'm doing tonight, man.
Oh, how are you doing, sir?
I am fucking doing fantastic and wonderful, and I feel so fucking good. So, good to be here. I'm going to be no help to you tonight, but I'm going to critique the things you tell me about.
Okay, so the one who will be helpful, the Mongo McBiased. What's going on, buddy?
Well, I can be a little bit helpful. I'm a little bit in Rob's boat. I'm a little bit in your boat. I watched politics all day, CNN. I can breathe a little bit. I have a little bit of a weight lifted off of my shoulders, it feels like.
Okay, great. So we're going to talk about who won Wednesday here, trying to get to the meat and the potatoes of it. NXT versus AEW, got 8 rounds of action tonight. And, the best tag team division of any of these shows was on display tonight, for sure. Right, Brian?
Yeah, one could say that. One could say that. I don't want to talk about it.
I'll wait for my criticalness. The one thing worth mentioning is we're going to get the Fight Pit redo for NXT as the main event on the one side. And the theme for at least maybe just the opening segment, Brian, on AEW was Minus One's birthday.
Yeah.
I don't think it really went past the opening.
What do you mean it really went past it? What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, like, when he booked the entire card, his father's appreciation night.
Yeah.
This wasn't like that. He had his segment. It was in the beginning. Correct me if I'm wrong, but, I mean, that was it.
Yeah. It's not like he was.
Didn't see him or one of the Dark Order come back out.
No. But this, I mean, he has made appearances, and I know. Actually, you know what? I'll ask you, Adam. Do you watch Dark? Because he's actually been on it, so that's where.
What's Dark?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. But -1 or -1, whatever you want to call him. He's been making appearances on Dark, so it's actually not too surprising seeing him on Dynamite.
So, real quickly, because it's already getting heated on our chat board, we got Daniel Price, Anaconda Vice, Perfect 11, and Christopher Stikelether on there for now. Some of the shots fired, Rob, are you dialed in?
Am I dialed in?
Do you have the chat board?
Yeah, I see it.
Apparently.
Do you want me to read it?
I'm in a Blockbuster.
What?
Daniel Price thinks that I'm in a Blockbuster.
It does. It looks like
we're boring on both ends. So early comments there, and I think at least one sort of mailed it in. Is what Brian has said on the board. He won't admit it in real life. Check the tape.
Can I make a little suggestion here, Adam? You should move whatever device you're reading your chat board from more close to the front of your face. Every time you turn to look at it, we only see one side of your face, and second, your volume goes down. Just hey, we got some technical things we're working through tonight. You know, we're being cautious, COVID cautious. So,
So we got it fixed. So let's just let's get to the breakdown. Let's get to the critical nature that we do. For those of you not familiar with the show, we're going to talk more about the storyline, the consequences, the booking, things like that. For those of you that want that full breakdown, though, you get the All Elite Hour. And tonight's episode is brought to you by AEH, the All Elite Hour, with your host, Brian. Bionic Brian is the host.
Biased one.
Yes. So you'll get your full breakdown there. And thank you for sponsoring tonight, Brian. I really appreciate it.
Anytime. On behalf of myself, MJ, and Kyle, yes. You're welcome. Well, thank you, actually.
Welcome. Yeah. All right, so 8 rounds, as I said. We're going to break down round number 1. We have a tag match for the Dusty Cup. It is technically at least one Frankenstein team here. but it's better than 8 Frankensteins on the other with the 8-man tag match on AEW. Brian, you're already nodding your head. Do you want me to just get to AEW first?
No. I mean, you might as well. Well, yeah, okay. Get that one out of the way because. Yeah.
All I'm saying is we have 3 legit consequential tag matches on the NXT side. We have an 8-man debacle, a 6-man debacle, and we tease 2 tag team wrestlers in singles action next week. I'm just saying, but let's break it down. This is Alex Reynolds, John Silver, Colt Cabana, and Adam Page. We know at the end that we're going to get our answer, Brian, on whether or not he's going to join the Dark Order. But for now, they're fighting TH2 and Chaos Project. In the end, Reynolds pinned Serpentico. Hooray!
Woo!
We have some stuff where -1, Rob, you might have liked this, busts out the birth certificate and says my birthday was actually 3 days. Was it 3 days, Brian?
3 days, yeah, 3 days ago.
Yeah. And he gets another kendo shot for his troubles, or not gets to give one. Excuse me, not doesn't get one. Nobody's gonna hit
that would be
kid
weird.
with a kendo
That'd be
stick.
fucked up. Yeah,
that'd be really bad. Scratch that. Take that out of the podcast version.
Yeah.
And this let me paint the picture for you, Rob.
okay.
But in the end, we need an answer from Hangman. And it turns out to be very much like a proposition. And I mean that from a, like, down on one knee, will you marry me type of proposition when they ask him to join the group finally to get his answer.
They've gone full comedy, haven't they? I mean, they've abandoned all the darkness.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just like what Adam was saying. I mean, Silver actually said, he was like, you're a good wrestler, he's handsome, and he has nice hair. Like, those are the things he was actually, like, boasting about on Hangman.
That's fabulous.
Fucking ridiculous.
It's fabulous.
The whole thing was, I mean, it was set up to fail, and I think, Brian, though, they blew it off to a certain extent the only way they could, really. Hangman says, I've been part of a group, no hard feelings, guys. Let's part ways. I want to go back to do the solo thing.
Yeah, exactly. He says groups don't work out well for him, and then he just goes off and leaves. Personally, I didn't see Hangman joining. I thought maybe it would last a little bit longer than this. But it just begs a question now. What's going to happen with the Dark Order? Because are they going to continue on being this kind of babyface comedy team? I mean, I feel like you kind of have to. That's kind of the direction they're going.
Says on the board, he says from darkness to dorkness. He's not wrong.
Yeah, but that's not a bad thing.
If
they
they,
nerdy.
I miss the one darkness aspect. Those videos, Rob. I know you like those recruitment videos.
I did, but their culture has changed, and it changed so much now that since they have gone almost full comedy, if not just full comedy, then my thought last week of Colt Cabana eventually becoming the new leader makes perfect sense. A comedy act with Colt Cabana leading it. I mean, come on.
They got to do something, but I mean, to a certain extent, guys, maybe it's not so much comedy act that it is face, because who the fuck is going to boo them right now?
That's true.
Yeah, no, you don't want to. Yeah, good. That's a good point.
So they're probably playing into what they kind of have to. I'll forgive that aspect. Chaos Project and TH2 thrown in here just for no reason, man. I mean, you could have. Brian, this is my argument. I have no issue if the segment on AEW is done this way. Colt, Hangman, Chaos Project. You don't need Reynolds and Silver in the match. They can be ringside because they're part of the group. And you certainly don't need TH2 in this position. This is forced booking to get too many people out there, in my opinion.
No, I mean, I don't know. Reynolds and Silver, those guys have been really like the standouts outside of Colt, obviously. Like, those guys have really kind of come into their own. So I didn't have a problem.
I'm not arguing them as a talent. I'm arguing why there's a fucking 8-man tag match 2 weeks in a row to start the show.
And to finish
This would have been fine as a regular tag match.
What were you saying, Rob?
Oh, I was saying, and to finish it, and in the middle, and as the buffer. Yeah.
It was a triple threat tag match tonight, Rob. It wasn't to finish it. It wasn't a 6-man.
You know, I hate to be the negative Nelly here, Brian, and I hate to talk about your girlfriend in such ways.
My girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. You know that's
you know
at least your prom date.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And I hate to rain on the parade, but the excitement I had at one time for AEW honestly is not at the level that it once was. Right now, it's not the same. I look their inability to create and sustain major singles characters in storylines, which is what the driving force of a show is, because it doesn't take a whole lot of concentration, honestly. Their failure has it's beaten me down. Their need to do multiple tag team matches every night. I'm talking not just multiple, 90% of their matches tag team matches. And then 60% of those matches are 6 or more man tag team matches. The fact that everyone gets involved in every storyline all the time, even though they really don't need to be in them. The fact that you have at least 2 to 3 brawls every night. Their shows have become predictable, but not predictable in the sense of you're doing the same gimmicks again. Predictable in the sense of this is going to be a shit show with some good segments spread out in between it. There's just no continuity.
And let's not forget the qualities that we hate about WWE. 6-man, 8-man tag matches when they're not necessary.
Yeah.
Exactly what Rob said. Plus the big one, dragging out storylines for no reason. We'll get to it in round 2, but Team Taz, Darby. What the fuck is Cody and Shaq and Jade and my God.
Let me just say this before we get off and I forget what I was going to say. You said that, the things we always bitch at WWE about, and I agree that we have complained a lot in the past that WWE does 6-man tag matches, but never to this level.
For no reason.
Well, right, but never.
There's a reason sometimes.
Right, but never to this level that AEW has done. So where we can say, yeah, you're doing the same mistakes WWE did. No, I think AEW is creating their own new set of mistakes. Like these are.
And Brian. Sorry, keep going, Rob. I didn't realize you were done.
Yeah,
no. We're not in the studio. I can't.
Yeah,
we're getting used to this.
He's got to wait till the silence. That's all I was going to say is that they've created their own problems. We can't say, you're fucking up like WWE. We're going to say, no, you're fucking up like AEW right now.
Well, and I think where they're fucking up, Brian, is they have Dark. They have, whatever it is, 12 matches they book every week on Dark. Is that not enough time to put everybody between Dark and Dynamite out there in some manner? And isn't it okay to take a week off?
It's okay to take a week off, but again, they're not really using Dark to kind of further really like any of the main storylines on Dynamite. It's more so just kind of enhancement matches, as you know. Really, that's kind of it. I think that is the problem. I think because they already announced that they're having that second show come through. I don't know when it's going to be, but I think as soon as they get that show, that alleviates some of the pressure because their roster definitely is bloated, and having all these 6-mans and 8-mans, it's really not doing anything.
They turn into spot fest.
Yeah, the
problem, Brian.
Well, the problem is Brian, is that what did you just say the problem was? Because I want to counter that.
That they had, their roster is kind of bloated.
Okay.
And having that second show come through, I think that'll help.
The problem is that the Bucks are running the show. And look, no. Look, hear me out. Hear my logic here. That's not just me being a hate monger. Hear my logic, please. The Bucks think tag team wrestling is the bee's knees in every slice of bread. That's their philosophy, and they've put that obviously very heavily into this. That they want this indie style of multiple matches, and we want tag teams, and. The sad truth is, as much as we enjoy tag team matches, and we all do, the sad truth in the history of the industry, tag team matches have been those to enhance the main program. You cannot
doesn't have to be that way.
No, it does. It does. You know why it does? Because it fails. Because tag team matches in itself is too much. And when you base it on that, I'm sorry, their mistake is that. Their mistake is the Bucks has turned it into a tag team program because they think that's going to drive viewership. It's not. It never has, and that's why tag team divisions were never on top.
Wow.
So real quick, I want to catch some stuff up from the board. Daniel Price, there's too much trial by fire on live TV working. I mean, my God, Reynolds was knocked out and they worked around him. It's coming off, like Adam said, like they just want to get their friends on TV. Keep your botchy workers on dark and let them improve. Don't put them on live TV to screw up perpetually.
Yeah, why didn't
And Stike adds, it seems like one week they start a storyline with someone, and then instead of finishing that storyline, they move into a new storyline. That's 100% true also.
There's so many characters that did not need to be matched with somebody. Miro did not need to be matched with anybody.
Yeah.
You know?
He didn't. I feel like they do that to make sure everybody gets on there because, as the one point Brian agreed with, the roster is bloated.
Yeah. I was just gonna say.
I don't think so. I don't.
What?
No, I don't think it's because they're trying to get everybody on there. I think AEW's let the locker room control the flow, and I think that they're saying, "Hey, me and Miro, we got a great gimmick. We want to try. Oh, okay, go on out there and do it." You know, they want to give them creative freedom, and that's and that's good.
Think it's like that.
No, I do. I do. I think they want to give them creative freedom so badly. They want to make the point that our talent is a creative force behind our shit, that they're just like, yeah, go try that out. Because I'm going to tell you what, if you sat down in a writing room and some of the ideas that AEW is throwing out there, if you threw them on the table, I got a feeling that a lot of people look at you and go, get that the fuck out of here. No, we're not doing that. But they want to be so everybody makes their person. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, the inmates running the asylum is not going to work out long term, Brian. And Khan's not a proper booker.
Even the military, the military needs civilian leadership. You know what I'm saying?
NXT side, we got the Dusty Cup, some final round one action matches here. Kushida and Ruff against The Way. The Way is out. Gone. Kushida pinning Gargano again, Brian. That's 2 times in a row. They'll fight the Grizzled Vets next. This is a very good showcase match for both teams, both kind of Frankenstein. Much better than, in my opinion, the 8-man tag match, even though I like the fallout after with Hangman.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this match, it has some weight to it just because it's the Dusty Cup, so that definitely means something. Why are you making that face? It's distracting. But
I want to see how you want to notice.
But I love this. I love that Ruff and Kushida. I mean, Kushida, he's someone that they should have been pushing a long time ago, and Ruff is like, he's definitely gonna be the standout guy in 2021. I think in NXT, that guy's on a roll.
He is, and I think he's since he's already gotten the title, he's kind of there to stay relevant with Kushida through this tournament. It'll be interesting to see where we go from there. But Grizzled Vets might take them out because maybe The Way gets revenge. I feel like the Dusty Cup has a lot of story angles playing within it. I almost felt for like half a second, Rob, that when we see Finn and Kyle later, I felt like they were going to be an entry into it somehow. I felt like that's what they were saying. Because don't forget, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but the Dusty Cup is one thing. The winner also is the number 1 contender.
Oh, for the belts. Yeah. Well, is that? I mean, I think it's
like officially, like, the Rumble gets you a Mania main event. Like the winner of the Dusty Cup gets to be.
Is that right? I mean, they may have done that one year, but is that a consistent theme? Have they said that this year?
I don't know.
I believe so.
Well, I
but
believe I can fly. Woo.
I don't know because that's probably when I was not paying attention. So let's vote round number 1. Rob, I'll let you go first. 8-man tag versus Dusty Cup opener, a true tag.
I'm going to give the point to the cold weather that kicked Tom Hanks' ass tonight.
Okay.
Ding!
Brian.
Do we not have sound effects tonight?
Oh, yeah, we do.
No.
We do. I got it.
Ah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Who won? Who won this first round? I got to say NXT. That was a good tag match.
It was a really good tag match, and I think that while I think they're doing things right when they mix their storylines on NXT, because the Dusty Cup is one thing, but they're keeping their people relevant by having, mini feuds and things in there.
Right.
So kudos. And now Gargano's been pinned twice by Kushida. Rob, I think you and I had a long talk about this one time. We can keep it succinct here. But I love the champ that loses all the time unless he's defending.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that was something, if you want to go back to the archives of wrestling, that's something Flair would still win a lot of matches, but the only times Flair would ever lose was when it wasn't a title match, right?
Yeah.
He didn't lose every time it wasn't a title match, but that's the only time he would lose.
But Gargano's the type you would love to watch lose all the time like that, Rob.
Yeah, but I'm not really keen on Gargano as a champion anyway. He's better.
I like him as a slimy champ.
Yeah, I like him better now than I have, in the past year or two. He's kind of growing a little bit back on me, but I don't know how I feel about him being, the champ. But yeah, no, point taken. Your point is received. That a heel that in that manner, that's slimy and just a cocky son of a bitch and loses all the time unless it's his title match and it's anything goes, then that's a fun heel. I like that.
I always enjoyed it in the past. I don't have a specific example. So round 1 goes to NXT. Round 2, I think we can keep this one quick. It's a vignette on the NXT side. Pete Dunne, he kind of played a little bit of the envy angle on Finn, kind of the Karate Kid 3 angle where, I'm the new guy on the block. For NXT, I followed in your shadows. Here I'll follow. Blah, blah, blah. It's my time, and you made your legacy, but mine will eclipse yours. All the cliches that you would say, but in his accent that I'm not going to embarrass myself trying.
It was like that bad
on the
Rocky
other
movie.
side, go ahead.
I was saying it's like that bad Rocky movie where Tommy Gunn was like, I'm going to take you.
Oh, yeah, Rocky 5.
Is that what it was? Yeah, Rocky.
Yeah.
Rocky 5.
bad.
All right.
Should have happened.
So, I guess we kind of, Brian, found out where this never-ending saga between Team Taz, Darby, and Sting is going. We're going to, instead of having Darby and Sting battle, they're going to tag to fight, I don't know which or all of Team Taz in a street fight now? Is that what all this was?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of knew.
Succinct.
Yeah, we kind of knew it wasn't going to be a singles match. At least that's what everyone kind of assumed with Sting. So I have no problem with this. Plus, that opens up the possibility of it being more of a cinematic type of match.
No, wait, Brian.
What?
What was wrong? Darby pinned Cage. What was wrong with ending it there and moving on? This is what Stike was saying a second ago. And moving on to your Darby Sting feud.
Because they're not going to do that. They're not going to do a one-on-one right away, bro.
Okay, that's fine. But get the fuck away from Team Taz.
No.
Team Taz and Darby has been played out so much. And I'm sorry, you already want me to believe that 170-pound wet Darby Allin beat 270-pound Brian Cage ever. Just ever in anything.
It was a fluke.
Other than skateboarding. I'm just not going to believe it. And now you're rehashing it further and continuing it further. Why? Sting and Darby, I'm not against your thought process there, Brian. I'm 100% there. They don't need to immediately go to singles there.
Yeah.
But Team Taz should be in the taillights, long gone from this by now.
It's getting a little bit old now, and all pun intended, I guess, that we continue to see the anorexic Darby Allin, as we have, team up with the AARP card holder of Sting to scare away 5 heavyset brutes. I'm getting kind of over it.
Yeah, and now it's going to be a street fight. If it's a true street fight, okay, when the Big Show fought off the Mean Street Posse and Shane O'Mac, I had a hard time believing it, but at least the Big Show was a monster and these were 4 frat boys. Okay, so if you want to go technical, I can. For me to suspend disbelief on and I'm not dissing Darby in any way or his size as a wrestler. I'm saying, though, the repeated beat, like he keeps getting one up and winning against these big guys is what I have a problem with. You steal a finish when you're a Darby guy.
He did.
Steal the yes. So he's going to steal it how many more times is my point, Brian. You can't have that. Leon Ruff even, to go on the NXT side, they knew they couldn't keep having him steal the wins like that.
Oh, okay, but he's done it more than once. It's okay to do more than once. Plus, maybe it'll be Sting that steals the win.
Thank you. If you have sound effects, Rob, to DP on the board.
No.
Darby kicked out of an F5 at 1. I mean, you're not even telling the story right.
I don't think he did. Is that true? A fact check that man. That's
This
false.
is the Butcher, and I'm a little blown up,
Fucking
but you did okay. All
I had to
right,
look
all
at the
right.
camera there. I
Right.
thought Rob was maybe reading that and didn't hit the button.
I like biscuits and bagels.
All right, let's vote. I'm just against anything with Team Taz and Darby continuing, so I'm gonna go with the vignette from Pete Dunne.
Oh.
Brian, what's your vote?
No, fuck all bodies. I'm going with Darby and Sting.
Okay.
AEW.
And Rob?
My vote is gonna be Lady Gaga knocking the fuck out of that national anthem today. Good for her.
Okay.
Lady Gaga.
Moving on. We got Rob, you didn't really vote, and we needed you to break the tie. So can you, now that I'm looking at the scoreboard, can you vote for something other than Lady Gaga, please?
Can you vote?
No, that was my vote.
No, but we need you to vote.
We need you to vote, man.
No, you don't.
That's what this has all been about.
Today's about unity. It doesn't matter if anybody wins.
Yes. You're a dick.
Unity.
All right,
Point
fine. We're going to go to 1.5 for NXT, 2.5 AEW, because Brian and I disagreed, and Rob's a dick. On to round number 3. This should be quick.
Unity.
They're both kind of squashes here. One is a literal squash and removal from the Dusty tournament. Brian, we'll find this out later, but this is where I thought the whole Kyle Finn team was going to come in, because Cross comes out and just basically destroys Ashanti the Adonis, who was supposed to team with Desmond Troy. They were going to fight on 205 Live for this part of the round, which I didn't even know was still a thing. That's why I'm laughing. Before it was even announced, my note said, so much for the Dusty Cup appearance, because Karrion Kross just took him out. Where I'm going with all of this, I guess, Brian, is my segue. They did what they used to do in NXT, and it kind of bothered me here. They made sure to mention that Karrion Kross is undefeated. A la Samoa Joe, a la Shinsuke, a la Bobby Roode. I mean, there was that trend for way too long that you were undefeated to the title. He's already undefeated to the title.
Right.
Had to vacate it. I don't know.
Huh.
I know he's going back for it. I'm just saying. Is this petty? Am I?
No, you're not being petty. I think it's kind of shallow booking, I guess, when it comes to the story. However, on the flip side, I wouldn't say AEW did much better.
Shallow and pedantic. Go ahead.
Yeah, AEW had Cody versus Peter Avalon, and he nails the crossroad in seconds, Brian, on Peter Avalon, who hasn't been on TV probably since the first month of Dynamite, at least in the ropes.
Way to push.
But here he is.
Way to push that singles division, right?
Yeah. But here he is in the character that they duplicated across both divisions. And he gets a crossroads at the start of the match.
No, it wasn't immediately. What are you talking about?
And before Cody can go for a pin, Jade showed up.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
Well,
you're saying it was just like they rang the bell. He hit a crossroads. No, there was a little back and forth.
It basically was that.
Oh, yeah, no, but
it.
I know, but hey, all right. You know what?
And by the way, Cody won by submission anyway.
Yeah, well, that's true. But
if you really want to sell his hatred for this female, that I don't know why they're continuing this storyline. Yeah, Brandy got pregnant. If Cody's gonna fight Shaq, get the fuck to it and let everybody move away, because otherwise, and if you really wanted to make this worth the fuck, Brian, you put Peter Avalon over here.
No. Him being on TV is good enough.
No, Cargill needs to screw Cody and do it right and make it mean something because he lost to Peter Avalon. Peter Avalon becomes the Leon Ruff of AEW.
Oh my God. No, that's not where they're going with this.
Crazy ass win that he beat the EVP.
No, this whole thing, I mean, it's
Rob,
nice to
help
see
me.
Peter Avalon on TV, but the whole thing is to have Cargill and set up what they're doing with Shaq and Cody next week.
Why next week? Can't we just get it over with? No, Brandy was pregnant for like a month.
We know we're not going to like it. We know we're not going to like it. the Cody and Shaq thing, we know we're not going to like it. Let's just get it over with.
I'm waiting for another Snoop Dogg frog splash.
Cody Rhodes, don't you come over here, Cody Rhodes. You know I'm going to beat you down, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
That was a bad Shaq.
They're gonna let me guess. The stakes will be Cody gets to host on TNT one night for Shaq, or Shaq gets to guest star on an episode of the Go Big Show. What do you think?
I'm for it.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah, I don't want to see Cody on NBA on TNT. I'll pass.
Yeah. So Rob, you gonna be a dick? Cody and Avalon or Cross and the Adonis?
See, I'm gonna give my point to AEW, not because of the segment, but because of Nyla Rose's tweet where she had John Moxley with Bernie Sanders sitting behind her with the mittens on. So that's my point. Yeah, AEW.
Okay.
I told you I'm in no help tonight.
I'm with AEW as well.
Oh, I'm with AEW as well.
My thing is, I don't like them potentially going down the road with Karrion Kross about undefeated. He doesn't need it. You don't need to mention it. He can be undefeated, but you just don't need to mention it. And the reason I also knock NXT is Ashanti the Adonis and Desmond Troy together deserved whatever they were going to give them in the Dusty Cup. Now because one gets injured, you took them both out and replaced them with, I don't even know that they announced it.
Brondo's got what plants crave. Brondo's got what plants crave.
So anyway, we've got 5 to 1.5. No lead. Going into round number 4, these are kind of segments here, Brian. We got MSK vignette where they do a Borat impression. I got the impression here that one of them is Matt Riddle and one of them is Xavier Woods. Is kind of the vibe I got from their characters. Is that fair?
Well,
you know them from the bingo halls.
And it's not from the bingo halls, you asshole. It's from they were in Impact before this. But as I said last week, their whole gimmick was they were very weed influenced. So yeah, I mean you're not far off with the whole Matt Riddle connection right there.
Oh yeah, he might as well have said Snoochie Boochies in his promo tonight. But yeah, it's like a goofy dude and a serious dude. I like their chemistry. I'm not knocking them. I did kind of enjoy it, but it felt weird that they have a debut and then this vignette. They should have had the vignette, then get the debut win, because now if they don't win this, which I doubt they will, it's going to feel weird.
Did we pick winners?
No. We'll discuss it as we go through the show. I'll get to it. I know Rob didn't watch this. So, Brian, you may need to help me paint the picture here. But apparently, Marvez and was it Michael Nakazawa? What's his first name?
Michael Naka. Yeah, Nakazawa.
Okay. Apparently, Nakazawa is like a houseboy for the Bucks. Is that a fair claim here?
Young boy? Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so that's weird in and of itself.
No, he's like Greg.
Yeah, it's like, okay. Greg isn't weird. Okay. Is Greg weird?
Yeah.
Well, so the Bucks, looks like Callis wants to buy out their friendship with Omega is the angle they're going with. Am I tracking right?
Sounds about right.
He starts writing them a check because Kenny just won't cut ties on his own, so I need you guys to go away. The one I hated that the Bucks did something well here, but them saying we know what an Impact check is worth was pretty funny.
That is pretty funny.
That
Yeah.
is
And
funny.
did you guys watch Impact yesterday? Did you see who showed up?
No.
What's Impact?
It was Steve Blackman. Steve
No,
Blackman.
it wasn't Steve
Steve
Blackman.
Blackman showed up.
Matt
Jerry
Hardy
Lynn.
and Private Party showed up.
Oh, I
Yes.
did see that.
Oh yeah, they're gonna show
Yeah.
up later on tonight in a 6-man tag match, Brian.
Well, yeah.
Man, it's a shame they don't have the octagon anymore because Private Party could be bouncing all over the fucking place.
Yeah. Octagon, that's UFC, bro.
Oh, whatever it was called, Hexagon.
The 6-sided ring.
Hexagon.
6-sided man.
Six sides.
Hexagon.
Rob can't count past 5, you know that.
Sixagon.
So, yeah. And we see later on in the night the Good Brothers beat the hell out of Penta. I don't know. This feels weird. Callis. I'm sorry to say we have no leadership on AEW. Like fucking zero. From a true standpoint like Callis. Brian, hear me out. Why is there no opposition to this guy just coming in and being like, yeah, the champ's my client. Oh, by the way, not just the champ is my client. I just can show up and do whatever I want here. I can bring my boys in. I can take your talent. There's nothing been said in retort except for by the Bucks. And who the fuck thought this was a good way to do this? Callis and Omega, and they're opposing the Bucks, and then they bring in the Good Brothers.
Yeah, because the Good Brothers
Now
are
Mox
tag
is
team
gonna be with
champions.
the Bucks?
They're tag team champions, and now they're also calling themselves the Bullet Club. So they're getting the band back together. Of course, it makes sense.
Can I ask a more profound question on this topic?
Yeah.
Okay, so in every agreement and every partnership, there should be mutual benefit, correct? We all agree there?
Sure.
Okay.
I know where you're going, and
So-
yes, we'll agree.
And what is AEW's benefit from having Impact? Don't say talent.
AEW's benefit
they
from
got-
having Impact.
They got plenty of talent. They don't need it.
It brings over Impact's audience. Come on,
Impact's
that's
audience
the
is
whole point.
anybody who watches Impact is already watching AEW.
That's not true.
Yeah,
Dude.
That's not true.
Dude.
they're at least following it, Brian.
Dude.
They're at least following it.
Yeah, come on, dude.
That's not true.
People who watch Impact watch AEW.
And I think on the bigger scope of
Lord,
things, I
please
think it's
help with
because
this.
it forces WWE to.
To
It puts
what?
them kind of in a corner.
What kind of corner? The same corner they've been in forever, making billions of dollars?
No, I would say the wrestling, the entire
Brian?
wrestling universe, kind of turning on them and having the other side kind of gang up and collectively
But
work together.
That's not this.
Brian,
What?
where's Impact? How do I watch Impact each week?
It's on that channel.
Oh, okay. How do I watch Dark each week?
It's on. If that's on YouTube, so
Okay.
I know you know how to watch.
How do I watch Being the Elite?
That's also on YouTube, Adam.
Oh, okay. And how do I watch Dynamite?
That's on TNT.
Okay, Rob, I've got a couple questions for you.
Yeah.
How do you watch Raw?
On TV.
Yeah. How do you watch NXT?
On TV.
And how do you watch SmackDown?
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't, but I would on TV.
Yeah, because
So-
you guys are boomers. Okay,
so-
that's such an
Now,
antiquated
wait. Now, to come full circle, back to Rob's point, who benefits here in all of this? Because I heard Dynamite's on TV, and I heard they have 2 other shows on YouTube, and I heard you not able to answer Impact. So, do you really believe that the majority of people that watch Impact aren't already watching Dynamite? And that this isn't, to Rob's point, a one-sided relationship?
No, my ruling on the field stands. No.
This is like
I will
one of
concede.
the husband can swing and the wife can't. This
Yeah.
is not right, Brian. I
Look-
mean, this doesn't make sense.
I will concede that maybe me and Adam are probably not giving YouTube its due credit as a media publisher, because not only does it get just as,
We fail on it.
well, no, YouTube shows get just as many views, if not more, than some shows that are on TV currently. I mean, that's just a fact. It's major content. My children watch YouTube. They don't watch Saturday morning cartoons like I did. They watch YouTube. That's where they get all of their content. So I will concede that I've been a little harsh on YouTube's revenue possibility and audience reach possibility. However, I will not concede that there's,
Say it, Brian.
the AEW receives zero, all pun intended, impact from having impact on their airwaves.
Say it, Brian. You want to type it on the board? Why don't you
Say what?
it?
Oh, well, no, I was just saying Karate Kid started out on YouTube, and look at that. Everybody loves the Karate Kid.
I've already put that conversation to rest, though. I've already conceded that point. So let's talk about the fact that there's still no impact.
There is impact. What are you talking about? It's cross promotion. They're having these guys. It's synergy.
They already share an audience. They already share an audience.
No, they don't.
Meek
You just said
this is
no.
This is so that we get a women's tournament and the knockouts will appear.
Because they can't produce their own women's division.
No, maybe this is their
women's.
Maybe their women's division is just like the ultimate women's division.
How to stand.
We are so off.
Wait. It's okay. It's a conversation.
Yeah,
learn how to stand on your own 2 feet before you start taking walks with people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
AEW's got to figure their own shit out first. They got issues they need to work out. They got big issues they need to work out.
And
I'm sorry.
Check the tape, Brian. You started this show by saying their roster was bloated. Now they're adding all these other people to work with.
Well, some divisions are bloated. I wouldn't say their women's division is.
Look, I'm not saying I'm representative of every fan, Brian, but I am a fan, and I'm sure there are other fans out there that think the way I do, that AEW came in strong and not so much, and bringing Impact in disappoints me. And I'm sure there's other people that think that as well.
No, also it makes AEW look like the big dick swinging, because at their last pay-per-view, Hard to Kill, AEW World Champion Kenny Omega pinned Rich Swann, their Impact World Champion. So suck on that.
Yeah, but
Robert.
That's so much of a clusterfuck because the Impact owner is in the AEW champ's corner. So, they both win is what they're probably saying backstage.
It's not the Impact owner.
This is like the Yankees beating
He's the kayfabe owner.
This is like the This is like the Yankees beating the Hackensack Bulls. Is what this is.
Daniel Price to Brian says people are endeared to Karate Kid. Brian, it's different. No, DP. I think it's 100% the same because AEW is for the nostalgia WCW fan, and Karate Kid is for the nostalgia Karate Kid fan.
What did you say? Nostalgia WCW?
I don't really agree with that anymore. They do bite WCW hard. I don't agree with that anymore. I think AEW is for the bingo hall indie fan that feels like you should have TV too. I'm sorry.
I hate you.
I disagree with Rob completely there, and I'm just going to move on. We're not going to vote.
They're one step from doing the slow motion matches. I mean, seriously.
Next round, or do we want to vote on there?
I'll vote. Whatever.
Oh, now you'll vote. You're going to vote against the Bucks? Is that what it is, Rob?
Huh?
Bucks and Callis against MSK. Since now you want to vote,
I'm gonna give my point to Michelle Obama for looking fly today.
God damn it!
Yeah,
Brian.
I'm giving a point to W. I mean, come on, cross promotional, MJ.
Okay, because there was only a vignette from a tag team I've never heard of on the other side, I'm going to give the point to AEW as well. I feel like AEW is going to win, and we've been so critical. But we'll keep going. Round number 5. This one's a fucking weird one, man. First off, who the hell is Nick Kamasutra?
Nick Camaretto. He is from the Monster Factory in New Jersey.
By the way, it's not that I can't pronounce it. I couldn't read my own writing.
He actually was signed to NXT. Wrestled there for the past couple years, but didn't work out, and now he's over doing his thing in AEW.
Cool. Well, he got knocked out by Moxley real quick and put in a sleeper hold, and the ref had to stop it because he's dead. On the other side, hey, welcome back, Rob. Imperium and Lucha House Party. Rob, I need your take on this. This is Dusty Cup. Imperium Lucha House Party. Who do you think won?
I would hope for Imperium. I would say Lucha House Party.
Lucha House Party. This is something, Brian, that I wish AEW would do more. Have a shocking victory like this. Just like Rob segued there, I thought Imperium, they were tag champs right before Breezango, who was right before Birch and Lorcan, right? So they're not that far removed from contention. I would have thought that would be the thing, but they got other plans for them because after they lose, Alexander Wolf returns. We didn't see Walter. So I don't know where that's going to go yet.
No. It is very surprising to have Lucha House Party win, but it makes the tournament seem, kind of fun. It gives it a little extra flair to it. Didn't see that going.
Brian,
I almost thought you were going to go there, Brian. We were going to go make a
good Lucha House Party.
Brian,
what are you saying, Rob?
I've been on the show a lot, bashing AEW, and I think for good cause. And we sit on the show a lot and we talk about what NXT does right, and AEW doesn't do right. I'm going to give some love to AEW. What they do right, the WWE as a general doesn't do right. And that's why I can't stand Lucha House Party, is WWE, they present their luchas as cartoons, as superheroes and cartoon acts. And AEW is really good about letting the luchas be serious and dark how they are in real life.
Yeah, any of the masked ones, I agree with you there, Rob, 100%.
That was deep.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So deep, but so Alexander Wolf, this is intriguing. I almost thought he was gonna kick the other two dudes out of Emporium, but it didn't happen. So that could go somewhere. Mox, I'm gonna beat everyone's ass, throw them all in. I don't care if you import people from Impact. Basically, was what he said after beating Kama Sutra. So let's vote. I've got to give my vote to NXT here, Brian. This was a very, very solid tag match with, to me, a swerve ending. I didn't think Lucha House Party had a fucking snowball's chance in hell of advancing, and yet they do. So I'm going to go with NXT for my point.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. NXT, I mean, it's the Dusty Cup, man. I love tag team wrestling.
Yeah, if only the roster that boasts the best tag teams did this. Moving on.
Wait, what about Rob? Did Rob vote?
I don't want to talk to Rob when it comes.
I get to
voting.
vote.
No, you're not. You're gonna write in a ballot, which is I voted for Kanye.
Okay, so I'm gonna vote for the youth poet laureate Amanda Gorman tonight. She was her poem was fucking off the hook at the inauguration, so that's my point.
Okay, that was the poem you were talking about in the group thread.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Sorry, I didn't mean to shit on your poem, Amanda. I just haven't heard it, and Rob's running the gimmick into crap. If this was Rob's thing, when he asked me WCW trivia questions all night, and I give him these answers, he would have blown up by now. But
I didn't watch.
I have better composure.
I didn't watch the wrestling programs tonight, so I'm trying to inject my happiness over what I did watch.
Okay. 6-man tag match time, Brian.
Ooh.
EW side. By the way, we're tied at 2.5 to 2.5 going into a 6-man tag match. Hardy and Private Party against Matt Sydal, Evan Bourne, and Top Flight. Hardy wins. He hits Bourne after.
Yeah, I mean that was a heel turn right there, so that's kind of consequential.
Was it?
For Private Party, absolutely it was.
Well,
absolutely.
Okay, for Private Party, I believe Matt's been taking them down this path already.
He's been taking them, but they haven't really bitten. This was the first time where they showed that they're their true colors. Exactly. I will say though, and I even texted you guys in the chat.
And please admit this.
No, I mean there were a few mishaps in this. Even JR on commentary, I think one of the guys in Top Flight went to make the pin, but he wasn't the legal guy. And even JR even said, he was like, I don't even think it matters at this point. It's like it didn't matter who the legal guy was. Like he even shit on it on live TV.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever mattered. I mean, those
No.
rules are so loose over there. What would be their name? You know, used to be what was it, Air Boom or something when it was Evan
Airborne.
and Kofi.
Yeah, Air Flight, I guess.
Top Air Flight, Top Flight Air,
or Top Flight. No, Air Jordan.
Daniel Price says Evan Bourne and the Goofballs.
Born Air Tomatum. No, that's stupid.
Born free. All
Hey,
right.
Rob.
Rob, on the other side, a real tag match, a monumental tag match. It is the opening match of the Women's Dusty Cup. Now, real quick, let me read you the competitors so everybody knows. On the left side of the bracket, we've got Candice and Indy on the top, taking on Gigi Dolan and Cara Jade in the first round. Obviously, we know what's going to happen there. Shotzi and Ember will face them in the next round after they beat Marina Shafir and Zoe Stark. You know, seemingly predictable, at least the first round. We've got Aaliyah and Jessie Kamea against Dakota and Raquel down on the bottom half down there. Okay. And then we have tonight's match, Toni Storm, Mercedes Martinez, taking on Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter. Rob, do you want to weigh in on who won this one?
I was really hoping Caden Carter and Casey would have won, but break my heart.
Guess what? They fucking won.
Yes.
What?
I called them as
They win, and you know why?
Why?
Because Mercedes ran her fucking mouth about beating up Io, and Io came back to make sure that she was there. Now, Io took out Mercedes, so basically Casey squared is what I call him right now. We're able to get the numbers game on Tony. But Casey Catanzaro has a new finisher.
Is it a stunner?
It looks like Ricochet's backwards or inverted, however you want to call it.
It looks like it's a corkscrew 450 swanton. Is what they're calling it.
Yeah, say that fast. I mean, it was very odd, but also cool as fuck looking. And I really like them. By the way, if you were paying attention as I read that, since they advanced, they will face the winner of Aaliyah, Maya, and Dakota and Raquel. So they're going to fight the winner there, which will be Dakota and Raquel. Guess who else Io has beef with right now?
Who?
Raquel.
Oh.
I think Casey and Caden are going to go all the way to the finals here because I think that they'll beat Dakota and Raquel in their next round after Io takes out Raquel. Just like what happened here. I think it's Io's revenge tour, and it's once again a good job by NXT to double book the storyline when it really would be a good story to tell here. They'll have to win on their own in the finals, you know, should Casey and Caden get there. But you tell a really good story of Io getting her revenge on the last two people to kick her ass, Mercedes and Raquel.
So two things
through the tournament.
Two things here. Number one, I want to go on the record that I called them last week as being the dark horse to win this tournament. That was my initial pick last week, Casey and Casey.
Check the tape.
I did.
And you also said that not even knowing the field. So
right.
I think Dakota and Raquel are going to
But I also want to say that I think this is kind of NXT's way of saying, oh, you want me to show you how to do a tournament when not everything is absolutely fucking obvious? Here you go.
And this is back-to-back now. I didn't expect Lucha House Party to win. I didn't expect Casey and Caden to win. These are the triggers, Brian, that a year into Dynamite, me and Rob are so critical of them not pulling. Yeah, you let Private Party tonight beat Top Flight and Evan Bourne. I mean, could you let them beat the tag champs and maybe have a feud there? No, they've already gotten their tag title matches with no feud.
Well, actually, Private Party already beat the Young Bucks.
Yeah,
so
cool.
Tag team.
Also, hey,
wrestling.
shout out on NXT side. I got to give a shout out.
Okay, wait. That's
what?
Perfect, Brian. They could be revisiting that. Private Party could be like, hey, champs.
They're heels.
And right now the Bucks are supposed to be faces, the saviors of AEW.
No, they're not. They're teaming with the fucking...
Omega.
No, what are you talking about? They're teaming... They were like buddies with the fucking Impact guys. Gallows and Anderson.
Yeah, I forgot they flip-flop.
Yeah. Hey,
My bad.
Gigi Dolan and what's her name? Cora Jade. Those are the new NXT signees. That's Priscilla Kelly and Elena Black. And even cooler note, Priscilla Kelly.
Everybody's names changed.
I know, right? Priscilla Kelly. Remember, she was the one that was married to Darby Allin. However, they got divorced, but they are on good terms apparently. Her name is Gigi Dolan, and Darby's name is Darby Allin. If you put their names together, their name is Gigi Allin. You know, remember who Gigi Allin is?
Yeah, the punk.
Yeah, he used to shit on stage and stuff. Yeah, so it's a little shout out for them.
I use icon loosely.
He was kind of an icon, so to some.
Good story.
Cool.
Yeah, shouldn't.
Yeah, that was great, Brian. I'm gonna vote for Casey and Caden.
I'm gonna echo that. I'm gonna vote for NXT, Casey and Caden.
I'm going to vote for, just because of my fact that I threw out there, because of Gigi Dolan and Cora Jade. So NXT.
Well, and when I think about the top 3 Caseys in my life, it's Casey Catanzaro, Caden Carter, and Casey Kasem. So I can't even think of any others.
I'm
Casey Jones.
Kasem. Casey Jones.
Well, that's not the right configuration. Dingus is K and C.
Well, neither is
Caden.
Caden. Yeah.
Caden Carter.
Oh, he's doing
Casey Catanzaro. Casey Kasem.
Oh, I didn't know you were doing double names there. Okay, my bad.
Never mind. I said K. They're my favorite KCs. Whatever. So we got a 3.5 to 2.5 lead for NXT. 2 rounds to go. This is the longest show ever.
Oh, cut it. Go fast. Run through it. Go.
Reed was too much. Michael Bivens not happy about Tyler Russ booking this match for himself.
Bell bid the vote.
He says, I book your fights. Yep, exactly. Penelope beat Layla Hirsch because Nyla Rose was supposed to, and she couldn't because of COVID. So, and then Miro gets in the ring to steal the segment and does the butler crap with Chuck T, who has to tell Orange Cassidy he's not his friend. So Orange runs away pouting. Cool. Vote.
I'm voting for AEW and Charles Taylor.
Okay. I am going to vote for the fireworks show tonight. Was awesome. It was great.
I'm going to vote to abstain, which means AEW gets the point because Brian's the only one who voted.
Woo!
I just can't vote for this Miro, Butler, Kip. They're not even going to get married for like 10 years. 3.5 to 3.5. Final round. Main event.
Woo!
We got the fight pit on one side. We got inner circle turmoil on the other. Rob, you don't know what either of them is. Which one you want the picture painted on?
Oh, paint the picture for NXT, the fight pit, please.
So the fight pit, we've talked about a gimmick match. The fight pit is I know it's mostly recycled. It's just, an inverted cell to a certain extent. But this is a pretty unique match and match type, and the finish is kind of last man standing-esque. I know this is only the second one. I don't want to, blow my wad and say this is amazing, but for a newer innovation, it's pretty good. The six-sided ring and the King of the Mountain were probably the last truly new gimmicks that you had out there. Maybe Lethal Lockdown, but really that was just a cell that you hung weapons from. Brian, what did you think about the fight pit?
Pit.
It's chomping your boy Thatcher.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah. No, I mean, it's definitely a cool concept. It's different. And I like it because they haven't really done it all that much. I mean, how many times over the years have you seen this? So for that, I can appreciate it. And these two guys, it makes sense.
The second one.
Right. Yeah, this is it. Well, I'm saying even before they did it in NXT. I'm saying
was this a
last time was Shamrock.
NXT?
Yeah, well, they did it back in the Attitude Era. It was Shamrock and Steve Blackman.
No, but it wasn't like this. You couldn't be on the top like that.
No, you couldn't be on the top. It was like a smaller octagon.
Yeah,
it was weird. It was
like a
really
hexagon.
weird. Kinda, yeah, but
dodecahedron.
I don't a what? But this is definitely different. I mean, I'm a fan of it. I love it. Just don't overdo it. That's the only thing. Don't do like this should be either Timothy Thatcher's match or Ciampa's match. This should be like their specialty or something.
Well, I think it's going to be Thatcher's. He's now 2-0 in it.
True.
And, he got Ciampa to tap. Rob, Ciampa's tapping again here. Ciampa is directionless. I get it. This is supposed to be Thatcher's specialty match, but I mean, how does that make you feel about Ciampa as like going nowhere?
You know, I hear your disappointment, but a couple of points. Point one is, people got to lose. It don't matter who you are. Even Hogan lost in the 80s. People got to lose, And as far as directionless goes, I don't know about that. It was a respectable loss. He beat him twice already, and then he met him in his element, and he lost. That doesn't mean he can't pick right back up where he was originally with another feud right after this, and we'd be equally as interested. Ciampa will survive this just fine. Thatcher gets a little push. Good to go.
I think you misunderstood that. My thing here is this. I guess this is like, I think you got it right. This is like when I was bitching back when we were watching Raw, Brian. When I would bitch all the time about how they're not using KO right.
Sure.
Ciampa is my NXT KO. Hey.
Well, they can't, and KO is a really good example of the point you're trying to make. But sometimes it's just not somebody's time, and it's not because they're not good enough to have their time, because it's time to build others and let somebody else play the background. Ciampa's gonna have his time again. There's no doubt about that in any kind of way. He's gonna be top of the mountain again, and they're just making us salivate for it more. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm with Rob.
That was a Lion's Den, Brian, is what.
It's basically the same fucking thing.
Okay, fine. Let's go to the other side. We have the Inner Circle turmoil. We have a triple threat here. Brian, Hager and Wardlow had their little match. What was it, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And to blow off steam that they had to do. Inner Circle's been going a year and a half, at least a year. I think a year and 3 months. We'll split the difference. Is this the first, or was Hager and Wardlow that? Because this felt like the start of the end for sure tonight. You have MJF pinning Sammy, somewhat of a screwish angle at the end. Proud and powerful, as they said before this match was even booked. We're supposed to be the tag team here. So they could easily walk away and still be a viable tag team apart from Inner Circle. I could easily also see that Sammy and Jake stay together and Jericho goes with MJF and Wardlow, at least till they have their blow off.
Sammy and Jake stay together?
Why not? Jake and Wardlow have already had their battle, and if you're really going to break up the Inner Circle, Sammy and Jake don't have to be tag team. They could be very much like a different version of MJF and Wardlow.
Yeah, and also shout out there was a Sammy Hager cameo. Did you guys see that before the match? He wished them good luck. Yeah, they actually got a cameo from him.
I did not realize that. Oh well, it must be cool to be able to afford that. I'd like what is it? Cabo? Isn't Cabo Wabo? Is that Sammy Hagar's whatever?
Just move on. Just move on. You're good. Just move on.
Okay.
Bang bang.
Thanks, Dad. Bang, bang. Let's do the vote then.
Yeah, let's vote.
Inner Circle turmoil. Take it, Brian.
Man, it pains me to do this, but I was praising it before. I got to give it to NXT. I really love the concept of that type of match.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rob.
Oh man, I gotta go with. You know what? I got it. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna go with Dave Grohl gets my point for the way he said the name Dr. Joe Biden tonight, with like he was throwing shade at people who were giving her shit for being called doctor. So that was good.
Nice.
Yeah, Dave Grohl's my hero.
Yeah. I'll second that, but I don't have sound effects. Go
away, Baton.
This is a tough one, man. I like the inner circle turmoil. I do. I think it's the beginning of the end here. I think I'm calling that one by the script, and I've been highly entertained throughout here. But I'm with Brian. This is only the second fight pit. This had a very good finish. They started on top. It was different. I don't think they blew their wad either. I think they continue to go on and on and on and on and on. So I'm going to give it to them. They're going to take the round score 4-5, 3-5 NXT over AEW. Will they take the overall? Brian, before I go to you, I'm going to give you my points.
Okay.
I think NXT takes the overall, and here's why. Fight Pit, as I just gave the vote to, and so did you, is a kind of unique thing. You have Finn and Kyle, former enemies, now teammates, very quickly go into something, and they didn't have to do a whole reason behind it. They didn't have to drag it out. They just got to it. And they're going to fight next week. That was one segment. I kind of just glossed over it earlier. You got two surprise victors in the first ever women's Dusty, Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter. And then in the other one, you have Lucha House Party advancing. Plus, I honestly thought maybe The Way would advance. I didn't think Kushida and Ruff would. So you're telling a lot of stories in what would be a musical version of Seamless Transition. You're even throwing some love out for Tyler Rust and Michael Bivens' relationship and keeping Bronson Reed relevant. On the other side, and I'm not being mean when I say this, but they have not invested enough time to make me give a shit about Layla Hirsch, Top Flight and Matt Sydal, Nick Kamasutra, who else on tonight? Peter Avalon, any of Team Taz, I'm just done. And TH2, Chaos Project. I mean, there's a lot of people on tonight that, and I'm not dissing any of these guys. They need to do a better job of booking by making these characters relevant. If they're not ready to move up from Dark, and you've had them on Dark for a year, then there's a reason they're not ready to move up. It took Gary 7 fucking years to get off the NXT roster. Some people take time. There's some people, there's no reason to rush them to TV. And for all those reasons, plus there were 3 quality tag matches on NXT, and there was a goddamn 6-man and an 8-man as a curtain twice in a row last 2 weeks for Dynamite. Yes, I'm petty. Yes, I'm critical. Yes, I'm voting for NXT as the winner. Your turn before we get Rob's next election.
No, you know what? I'm going to keep mine short. I feel like AEW was just mailing it in. Obviously, there was a lot of other things going on in the world today. Come on, I don't have to say it. They don't give a shit about anything that happened, right? Okay, they want to appreciate what's going on in politics. NXT, they really put forth their effort, and it really goes against everything. But NXT, they won.
Hey DP, be happy in your work, pair. Rob.
Yeah, I gotta argue with you, Brian, about they were phoning it in for the election. And I saw somebody else on the board was echoing that earlier. If it wasn't a trend, then I would say, yeah, sure, they phoned it in for the election. But the problems they had tonight are the same problems that they've been plagued with. So this is a continuation of their formula, which is flawed. I give my point to NXT, and with a nod to hope. And
be best.
Like hope.
Are you starting to believe again?
I'm starting to believe that we could have legalized marijuana within the next 6 months.
Oh, all right.
It always goes back to something selfish.
Yeah.
No, I want everyone to. Everybody needs to smoke. Everybody in this country needs to start smoking.
Tease for next week on the NXT side. There's Drake and Killian taking on MSK. You have I got to read my writing. The Grizzled Young Vets versus Leon Ruff and Kushida. And you have, which I was surprised about here, you have Finn and Kyle taking on Birch and Lorcan. I was both surprised and also that would be too obvious. But now Finn and Kyle, I thought, would replace Desmond Troy and Ashanti the Adonis, but apparently not. What is AEW? So I just told you 3 quality tag matches next week for NXT, Brian. What does AEW do? They give us what we want. Tag team wrestlers in singles competition. We find Dax Harwood against Jungle Boy.
Mm-hmm.
And Eddie Kingston and Lance Archer are finally going to settle their beef, even though Lance has been coming to Eddie's rescue recently, so that doesn't even make sense. That's what happens when you do too many storylines together.
Are either of them on the top 10?
What'd you say, Rob?
I said, are either one of those guys in the top 10?
I don't know. Let's check on their rankings.
No, the answer is it doesn't matter, Brian.
Oh, number 7 on one of each belt. And this is sorry, I'll save it for my petty.
What?
Because it is my petty. So let's do marked outs, petty, and shut this shit down.
Yep.
My marked out, fucking Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter getting the W, advancing. I marked out for that on the NXT side. On the AEW side, I marked out when Hangman said no to Dark Order because I feel like he's going to move on to something else and not just try to get pigeonholed here or tied up for months for no reason. Rob, what's your marked out?
My marked out is when Marine One lifted off of the fucking lawn today with Trump in it. That was my mark out moment of the day. I'm just going to give that to both.
Okay. Brian?
Mine's similar to Rob's, but my marked out moment was when Melania and Trump got off of the helicopter plane, whatever the fuck they were on.
Marine One.
And Marine One, whatever. And Trump is posing for, like, they get off and Trump turns and poses for pictures. Melania just keeps fucking walking and just leaves him. She's like, fuck this, I'm getting in the car. It just looks pretty funny.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's because it wasn't her, so she didn't want to stand there for the
True.
pictures. Petty Town. Is the board? I've somehow closed my chat board. I don't know how to reopen it.
Marked out for Daniel Price, Penelope Ford split. Giggity.
Oh.
Giggity goo. And then my petties are going to be simple. East side, what did I write down? Fuck. The Pete Dunne thing, keeping him with Birch and Lorcan, I feel is unnecessary. He could just be challenging Finn. And then on AEW, my petty town is their women's tournament. Yes, you heard me say it. The women's tournament. It is a year too fucking late to be having a women's tournament, Brian. They should have stretched that shit out way back when, given us maybe a match or two a week to introduce these women. They could do freaking, I don't know, American Ninja Warrior type vignettes to educate us on who these women are. And somebody else said they were waiting. Somebody on the board said they were waiting to get all the Impact talent in there. No, you've had free agent women come in there and could do a one-off. That's what WWE did. They didn't sign all their women from the Mae Young. You could have done it. You chose not to. Your friggin' first ever champ has never been seen since she lost the belt. Well, that's not never true, but pretty much. And you've botched every booking you can. And the one contender you've built, Britt Baker, is not even fighting for your belt. Good job.
Yeah, that's a miss.
Petty for you, Mr. Bryan.
Let's see. My petty. You know what? Actually, I'm going to agree with you. I think not having Britt Baker going for the championship, I think, is definitely a miss. And for
she's going after Serena Deeb.
Yeah,
sorry, Thunder Rosa.
Thunder Rosa, right? Thunder Rosa. And for
was the last challenger.
For NXT, it was probably Ted Cruz being at the fucking inauguration today. That pile of shit should have fucking been home. Get the fuck far away from there, you asshole.
Yeah.
You can't play basketball. I hate you.
I guess there was just no hope in keeping Wednesday political free with its being inauguration.
Today was a huge day. Excuse us for mentioning the elephant in the fucking room.
I'm not. Rob, go ahead and give your petties to somebody in the Trump family.
I am gonna forego my petty and do a joke instead. I am not in a petty mood tonight. I'm in a glorious fucking happy mood, and I feel as exhaled as I have been in 4 years. So I'm gonna do a joke, Brian. You ready?
Oh, I thought that was the joke. I was like, God, that's horrible.
All right. What do you get when a Jew, a Mexican, and a black guy walk into a chamber?
What?
The Senate majority.
He's talking about Ossoff, Warnock, and Harris, obviously.
Oh.
Yeah.
You didn't get that one?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, the guy who took over for Harris.
There's better jokes about a Jew and a black man winning Georgia than that.
Well, no, but because the third senator that was sworn in today was the Mexican guy who lives in California who took over for Harris. So you got a Jew, a Mexican, and a black guy walk into a chamber. You get Senate majority.
Like an elimination
chamber?
It's really
Harris
well put together.
Is the one that gives them Senate majority because it's 50-50, and she breaks the tie.
Yes, but you need the 3 to get it, asshole. I'm just, oh my God, way to shit on my. I thought mine was very well put together. You can kiss my ass.
Yeah, tweet that out. See if anyone bites.
Oh, God. Let me see. On the board. Shut up. On the board. Marked out for Stike Leather. Casey's finisher and AEW Inner Circle turmoil. Dana Price petty. AEW becoming more and more like WWE despite promises not to. Let's see. Perfect 11. Mine was
too true.
Perfect 11. Mine was Don Jr., Eric, and Ivanka all crying as Trump walked out of the White House because they knew they didn't get pardoned.
Suckers.
Yeah, but Daddy still pardoned Lil Wayne. Petty Town for
how the fuck do you pardon Lil Wayne?
And Kodak Black.
Somebody needs to pardon him for that fucking fireman song. Stike Leather, Petty Town, AEW not finishing storylines, and for NXT, Karrion Kross taking out 2 competitors in the Dusty Cup. The Stike Leather, I will be happy with the Biden administration sends me my stimulus check. No, I don't want to. And okay, I'm not reading that, Daniel Price. Okay.
All righty. So let's shut this shit down. Thank you guys so much. We got, again, our sponsor tonight, the All Elite Hour. Check it out. They're going to be in action at some point this weekend. You'll just have to tune in. They're like Impact. They don't really have
we're kind of floating.
They're on the
time
slot.
You didn't plug the Flash sale.
I was getting there. And
yeah.
I'd like to. Brian, why don't you do it?
No, so you guys can save for all the free shipping that went out today. All those assholes that got shipped out of DC. We are also doing free shipping. So you could just go to what were you? MarkedOutGear.com.
MarkedOutGear.com.
Go to MarkedOutGear.com. Use the discount code LOSER, and you will get yourself free shipping on anything marked out. And we'll do that for, I don't know, we want to do that through the weekend? Let's do it through the weekend.
For the weekend, MarkedOutGear.com. You can go in there, use loser, and get free shipping.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, like Beck.
Okay. We're gonna throw it on Adam's back, and he's gonna donkey carry it to your house.
Yeah.
All right. So, I thought you were about to say I was gonna donkey carry the ending of the show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be back on Monday for Monday with the Marks in our actual time slot. Between then, All Elite Hour. Check it out. MJ, Kyle, Brian. If you are a fan of Marked Out, you should be a fan of All Elite Hour because it's a different version of the show. It's not just Brian and 2 other guys. It's very different and unique in its own right. Check them out. We'll be back. Come on, Rob. He's giving me the wrap it up button. Anyway.
Wrap it up, B.
Same smart time, same smart channel.
I'll catch you on the flip side.
Marked Out Podcast is produced and edited by U-Record Studios and is recorded live from Charlotte, North Carolina. Subscribe, follow, and listen to us live following WWE programming on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook Live. Download the podcast by following us at podbean.com or subscribe on iTunes and Apple Podcasts. While you're there, go ahead and give us an honest and fair review and rating. Finally, if you have enjoyed our product and would like to see us grow, please donate to us by visiting the donation link below our live video, or you can donate via Venmo and Cash App at the handle Ravepro. That's RAVEPRO.
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.